And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Paperback. Now, Paperback was designed by Tim Fowers, who came onto the scene with his game Walkstar, which was a very fun cooperative game about running a Chinese restaurant. This one is very different than that. This one takes the deck building genre. The most famous game of that genre, the one that started it, is Dominion, and combines it with a word game. Now wait! Do not go anywhere. Do not run. Do not say this is an unholy combination, because I'm going to have to spoil it right now by saying this game is really good. Watch how this works, and then we'll come back. Here's how the game is set up. There's different piles of cards that are placed here. Each has a cost. 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5, 6, 7. And then this last pile is 8 through 10 cents. Now, you're going to take each of these piles, as you can see here, you'll take the top card off it and place it in front. That way there are always 2 cards available for each of these. There's also victory point piles here. These cards are worth victory points. These are worth 4 victory points, for example. They cost 5 cents. There's 2 different pictures in the pile, but everything on here pretty much is meaningless. It costs 5 cents, it's worth 4 victory points, and it counts as a wild letter. And so each pile has different pictures made to look like pulp magazines and such. There's also going to be a letter track placed over here where you'll put some common letters on this track so that you can see the 7 letters here, and each of these is also worth 5 points. And then players are going to get a deck of cards. You're going to start with 5 of these wild cards, and then you'll also start with T, R, S, N, and L, the 5 most common consonants in the English alphabet. You're going to shuffle these, and on your turn, you're going to draw 5 cards from your hand, and you're going to look at those cards and try to make a word with the cards that you've gotten. So let's say, for example, that I drew 3 wilds, an R, and a T, and I have to make a word. So I say, okay, I'm going to make the word rot. I don't even need the wilds for that. I'm going to make R-O-T. This common letter that's here, I can always use that letter. Once I've done that, I see how much my word is worth. This one is worth 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 cents. I now can buy a card. So I have to sit here and think which cards or cards do I want to buy. Well, 3 cents doesn't give me a lot of options. I can buy this R-E card, which if I can fit that in a word, gives me 2 cents to spend. Or I could buy this L, which says if the word uses all my cards, I get an extra 2 cents. And then this O, which is worth 2 cents when I use it. However, once I use it, I have to trash it, remove it from the game. So in this case, I'd probably buy the RE, which would then make the L come down here and reveal an S. So then the letter I bought, plus the different cards that I used, plus any cards that were still in my hand, are discarded, and then on my next turn I'll have 5 new cards to work with. So here now I have an S, L, N. So let's see, I have that O, so I could say long, slong, sloan, sling, slide, sling. Sling would work, but I don't have enough, yes, S-L-I-N-G. There we go, sling. I'm not using the O. And I'm sure some of you out there are thinking of better words than me. Whatever, this is what I can do on the fly. So that's, again, 3 cents. And so this time I say I'm going to buy this S, which this says, if this is the last letter, I get to draw an extra card next hand. Now I need to draw, but my pile's gone, so I take my discard pile, which includes these new cards, and shuffle this pile, and so I get to draw more cards next hand. So hopefully next hand, I will, or at least in a few rounds, I'm going to start getting these purple cards, which will give me more options. So here's my 5 cards. Hooray, I got the S, which says it's the last letter. I get an extra card next hand. Ooh, and I have an N, and there's an O out there. So this is easy. I'm going to make the word loans. Okay, and that uses the O, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 cents I have, and I get to draw an extra card next hand, so I'll have 6 cards. Also, that gives me 4 cents, so now I can take a look. I could buy 2 of those 2 cents, or I could buy one of these brown cards. These brown cards have a tack on them. What that means is when I play that card, when I use the card in a word, and that's the only time special abilities come into play, is when you use the letter in the word. Let's say I use that U, that means my opponent or my opponents, however many there are, will draw one less card their next hand until my next turn, in which case I discard the U. Or the attack will make someone lose 1 cent for each wild that they use in words until my next turn. So I could buy one of those, and as time goes by, you can get much better letters. You can see here at the top, this W doubles the word score, but you have to trash it after you use it. Now, at some point during the game, you're going to want to buy these cards. They don't give you any money when you use these cards, but at the end of the game, they're worth points. At the end of the game will end when 2 of these piles is gone, and at that point, players will count up all the point cards in their deck. And you can see these are 4, 7, 10, and 15 points, plus the wilds at the beginning. You can also get these common card letters. If you ever make a word that's 7 letters or longer, and that's certainly possible, you win this O card into your hand, in which case the next common letter is revealed, which is an E. But now to get that one, you need 8 letters. And then here we have I, 9 letters, and then A would need 10 letters. And these are shuffled, so you're not sure which of these common vowels will be out there. But that's actually the game. When this is gone, the game will also end. So if someone makes a 10-letter word, the game will end. And these cards, not only are they useful as common vowels, but they also are worth 5 points. Player with the most points is the winner. There's a couple variants where you can have cards that if you make one of the words in that card, you get bonus points. There are cards that are awards basically at the end of the game. The player with the most 2-letter cards in their deck gets this card, so different basically end game scoring, and there's special powers that players can have, like this person once per turn, if your word has 3 or more wilds, you get an extra penny to spend on your turn. And then there's also some other cool common things that you can use, like this one you can make 2 words with an underscore, or reverse a 2-letter card with this common card. And that's how you play. I am so impressed with this game. Automatic collection, automatic. So great. The deck building aspect is cool, but it's mostly a cool way to have a word game. I like it. It works so well. There are so many people out there who like word games, Scrabble and all that, and this gives them that. But for me, not only does it give me the thoughtfulness of trying to make words out of the letters that I've drawn, but also trying to get some cool combos and use some deck building things. It's a good combination. I did not expect it to work. Now, if you don't like word games, this probably isn't for you. But the things I really like, you start with wilds, and whenever you get point cards, they turn into wilds. So you can always make some sort of word. You always get some points, and you have to use the same strategy you use in a deck building game. When are you going to get more letters, or when are you going to start collecting point cards? If you collect point cards too early, your deck, you're not going to be able to get more of them. But if you spend all your whole time getting letters, I get some more letters, look at the cool words I'm making. You need to buy points at some point. The game also has a variant you can use with these little wooden cubes, where if you don't know a word you can make, you can ask for help from everybody else, and then you give them a cube if they help you think of a word, and they can use this cube as a penny later on. That's okay. I think I'd rather make my own words, but I can see how that would be useful. The whole game comes in this box. It has these dividers, which are the same color as the different cards. Fits in here very nicely. It's a great package. It's a great game. It's great. Man, this is really good. This is the kind of game that works super great with 2 players. Oh man, but also can work with a bigger group. But with 2 players, that back and forth action, this is a game my wife who loves word games and I love deck. Man, it's a great combo. And you may not have got that from the video, but I encourage you to try it for yourself. The game is currently out in between printings. The second printing is on its way, so you'll be able to get a copy of it for sure. But if you can, one that I recommend very, very highly, Paperback.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!